Welcome back to Coal Duster Garage. I'm Dan. This is the Buick, and today we're going to be doing two things. It was originally three, but apparently it's amateur hour, and I don't know how to focus a camera sometimes, so the pulse at idle troubleshooting has already been done, and it's been solved. One of the spark plugs, the gap was non-existent, so I had to fix that, and you know, that's because I'm lazy and didn't check gaps before installing new spark plugs. But anyways, today we will be installing an electronic switch pitch actuator, well, transmission controller, I guess would be the more apt way, brought to you by Mr. Bruce Rowe himself. And on top of that, we will be installing a kickdown switch, because on this car, your switch pitch actuator and your kickdown switch are all on one actuator, and the linkage for the actuator in the car broke some time ago, I don't know, before I got it, and currently I have no kickdown and I have no switch pitch control, but that will be solved today. So first things first, we're gonna get kickdown switch going. So I'll bring you guys in close, kind of show you what we got going on, and we'll fix it. Hey, I'm just gonna interrupt the video for a quick second here and do the one thing I absolutely hate doing, but I apparently have to, because a whopping 88% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So if you like what I'm doing, you would like to see more of what I'm doing, and you want to help a small channel grow, you should like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out tremendously. By the way, side note, I might be starting a second channel to do exclusively automotive history videos, because the Plymouth Duster video has been blowing up. Kinda. If you're interested in that, leave a like and tell me, and also tell me what brands, cars, you know, whatever you guys would like me to make videos on. Okay, back to whatever this fucking guy's talking about. This is the kickdown switch pitch actuator. There's supposed to be a rod in here that's supposed to hook up here so that when you full throttle, rod gets pushed in, activates that, controls the kickdown of the transmission, as well as the pitch of the torque converter. Since it's broken, I don't get that. That's what we are aiming to fix today. Aftermarket bracket. We're just going to take the new kickdown switch, which it's kind of going to be a little bit goofy because it has to go in backwards, like so. It's going to go in like that. I'm going to hook it onto this little nubbin here, because as you accelerate, that moves back. Bingo, bango, bongo, you have kickdown. Now the fun part is I need to sort out what each of these wires are. Now I know that these wires go to my micro switch here, so I do not need those. I know one of these two wires controls switch pitch and one controls kickdown. I do believe this wire is voltage supply. So I'm going to turn the ignition on, verify that this is indeed battery voltage, and then from there we can kind of sort the rest of these out. Take my meter, put it on DC voltage. We're going to gently poke right there and find a good ground. That is indeed battery voltage, and that is 12.3 volts. Okay. White is downshift solenoid. Okay. So let me grab some tools to get some shit wired. So I do not need idle switch at all. Do not worry about it. Let's kind of get this roughly where it needs to be. There we are. Tighten our die in. And just to make sure that this does what I want, I'm gonna check continuity between here and here. Closed, open, closed, open. Perfect. Yep. Yes. There we go. Now I can test it. Should be able to pull that. That'll close the contacts. That should activate the kickdown. Should hear a click. Key on. I do hear clicking. That is good. That is good news. Perfect. Cool. So I will finish installing the kickdown. Got the kickdown switch installed completely and everything adjusted. I also went ahead and fixed the throttle linkage itself, and if you listen close, as I open the throttle, you can hear a click. That click is the kickdown solenoid actually working. After fucking around with shit for a little bit on my own, I found a good spot for the electronic switch pitch controller to tuck away into. The only issue is I'm going to have to extend the harness, which is fine. I'm also going to have to extend the vacuum hose, which is also fine. There's this nice corner here that isn't being used at all. So, and there's a piece of sheet metal that's nice and flat, easy for me to get to. I can get a drill bit through it and fucking know exactly what's behind it. So using some double-sided tape, I'm going to temporarily install the electronic controller and kind of loosely plan out where I want everything to run. And it'll be kind of the same case with the wire. So I'm going to have to extend this vacuum line just because I want everything to look pretty. So I'm going to run it all the way down here. Yeah, I'll probably just follow this harness all the way down, up over here, down towards the back of the intake manifold, and then I'll just pull it off, toss a T and an adapter in there, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the wires. There we go. So gonna drill those marks out real quick, and then I'm going to transfer these holes from here to the car, drill through that, throw some bolts in it, and fucking do cool shit. Nice. Oh no, these are not long enough at all. Oh, fuck. I will need to make another trip, so, because I already hogged holes out. So, that's where it's going. Alright, well, I can at least extend the harness and whatnot. Oh, Okay. So we're gonna go to the workbench. Alrighty, so since I am extending this harness, I'm going to stagger where I am extending it so that I don't have a bunch of butt connectors all in the same place, making this thing really fucking thick. So we are gonna start with brown. So we are gonna take brown is going to be our shortest. We're going to just about cut him in half. Crimp on a butt connector. And then blue, we're gonna do right about here. We're just giving ourselves a bunch of fucking room so that we can go back and put some wire loom on this and not have it be a big, ugly fucking mess. There. So, those two wires are going to sit nicely. And I should be able to use the same size loom as well. And this one, the yellow one, I can honestly just throw a butt connector on that. Probably good. Now I don't know how much room I'm gonna need added to any of these, so I'm just gonna add a bunch. And then I'm also going to extend the ground so that I can run that to most likely the battery ground, just to be safe, you know? Okay, cool. Wiring harness extended. Okay. Should be the last trip of the day, but I'm going to go get longer hardware and some wire loom. So I shall return. So I'm going to show you guys a cool little trick here with split loom. So if you ever need to expand a harness and you don't feel like, you know, running a whole new length of split loom, you can do, get one side started, pull your main side back, kind of just make a note of where it ends, so right about there. Take some electrical tape, go about right in the middle of it. I typically give it one full wrap, pull it forward, push your existing split loom in, and take your new split loom. It's a little finicky, but push them together and wrap that a couple times with some electrical tape. And it looks intentional. It looks like you didn't fuck anything up at all. There you go, pro tips. Same thing at the end of your split loom if you don't want your wires coming out wherever. Once you're done, you know where everything's gonna end. Do the same thing. Now that I have my holes drilled and I have hardware figured out, it is now time to actually mount this thing. I wouldn't say it's right, but it's gonna work. Alrighty, let us get this vacuum line routed. Just the way I want it. It's gonna be under all that. Under all that. Wow, perfect. Alright, so got the switch pitch controller hooked up, got the kickdown switch enabled. Now we're just going to go do a quick test of it. So I'm going to take the microphone off and probably stick it to a valve cover. And when I turn the key on, you should hear a click, and then when I push the pedal all the way to the floor, you should hear a second click. So, let's do that, test it out. If all that's working good, then we will take it on a test drive and see what this whole switch pitch thing is about. So as far as I can tell from inside the car, everything seems to be working. So we are going to go take this thing on a test drive, make sure that kickdown switch is actually working, and we'll see what all this switch pitch shenanigans is about. We have installed the kickdown switch and the electronic switch pitch controller. So we're going to go on a little test drive. We're going to test some stuff out. And this is a perfect first test. The electronic controller is supposed to prevent creep from a stop, which I wouldn't say that is 100% accurate. The car does still creep. It's not as much as it was before. Well, I guess the other claim of the electronic controller is true. I didn't even notice it shifted into second. So it does indeed soften shifts, which is nice. So we're gonna go out of the neighborhood because I don't want to be an asshole and I don't want to piss off everyone in this fucking neighborhood because this car is fucking loud. And we're gonna test the kickdown switch, make sure that actually does what it's supposed to and drop a gear when you floor it. And then there's a little special feature that the electronic controller has that I want to test out. It is the drag mode, which I believe all that does is force the torque converter into the high stall mode and lock it there while you're at full throttle. I kind of loosely read the instructions, we'll see, but so far the experience driving this thing is a lot better. It feels like there's a little more available power in terms of torque. And this is actually the perfect spot to test the kickdown just before a red light, which did indeed downshift. So we are going to run this thing to the gas station. We'll see how it does from a damn near dead stop because this is a merge. It's slow and awful, and the sun's fucking bright. We'll get some more heat in the car before we test out the drag mode, but so far everything seems pretty good. Seems pretty happy. Not too pleased with the brake pedal at the moment. Need to look at some stuff under the hood when I get to this gas station. It's starting to sound a little unhappy. Sounds like it's running on fucking 4 of 8 cylinders right now. I don't quite know why that is. Well, it died. Okay, well, after a mild panic attack because the car started running like fucking dog shit, something's going on with the choke. The choke wanted to be fully closed, so the car was running too rich and it died, and it was making a lot of soot. So we are gonna go back home and figure that out, probably. Well, time to treat this thing like a fucking race car and floor it home, get it nice and hot. I'll tell you what though, this thing is the least efficient way to convert money into noise. Well, you know, that's how you verify repairs, right? Or any work that you do to the car. You just ease her out of the neighborhood, get onto a fucking main road, and then just fucking hoof to the floor, and it's either gonna break or it's gonna work. And unfortunately for me, this time it broke. Okay, take 2, test drive. Hopefully nothing fucking goes wrong this time. Something was going on with the choke. I drove this thing a couple of times. I got it nice and hot, and I didn't have any issues with the choke. But this time, I guess I don't know. The choke wanted to be closed at temperature, which means that it was out of adjustment. So I came back home, adjusted the fucking choke. So that's good. Now we can go out and give this switch pitch electronic controller a good proper test drive. So let's fire the car up and fucking hit the road. That door's not. There we go. now it's closed. That door's closed all the way now. Oh my god. Man, this car is fun, but holy fuck. Does it stress me out. So far, the switch pitch controller seems to be doing good, and it's actually kind of nice. The shifts are, as far as I can tell, softer. It does feel like there's a little more power down low, especially after like anticipating coming to a stop and then taking off. It doesn't feel like the car's being lugged as much anymore, which is, you know, just a nice thing, kind of just a quality of life, drivability thing. Okay, so I feel comfortable enough to take this thing out on the main street and do some cool shit, I guess. I'm gonna give this drag mode a go. I think depending on this light here, I might be able to fucking give it a go. Oop. Hey, left foot braking's kind of hard, by the way. Cool. Ain't no one coming. Holy fuck. Okay. Drag race mode gets... it puts it in fucking high stall mode. God damn, that shift was late. But damn, that was fucking awesome. Little sketchy. But hey, that was fucking cool. That was a pretty good launch. I mean, that was respectable, you know? I mean, it's a 340 from the factory made. Oh, there's a cop. From the factory, it made 260 horsepower, I think 320 pound-feet of torque. And I don't know about the transmission gear ratios, but the rear end ratio in this car is a 2.95. So it's highway gears. And I mean, that was pretty respectable for a 60-year-old car with an engine that's probably never been rebuilt. And it's geared like horrendously low. So I mean, I think that was a pretty respectable launch. So I think my timing might be a little bit too high, but it's just some snapping and popping coming from the exhaust that I'm hearing, and that's what's freaking me out. It's also kind of giving it that weird idle. So I think I need to bump the timing down a couple of degrees. But otherwise, I'm gonna launch this thing one more time, get it home, and, you know, yeah. And it should be pretty much straight shot home, and the car should make it. Yeah, I ain't too worried about it, especially if I launch it again. The goal here is to not make any police officers mad. That is the last thing I want to do. God damn, launching this thing is so much fun. That is just a respectable amount of get up from this fucking car. I think the switch pitch module was well worth it. $150 to get a cool feature working in a car better than it did from the factory. Hey, it's me again. Hi, I'm from the future. Ooh. I forgot to record an actual outro for this video, so here I am now to do it. That's going to do it for this episode of Coal Duster Garage. If you guys like what you're seeing, come back around. There's going to be more content like this, not super like this. This was kind of a more boring video, but going to be working on some pretty cool stuff here soon. There's another engine block back there.